Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew.
I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you.
Loveline.
Yep, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce over there, filling in for Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Bruce is a board-certified physician, an addiction medicine specialist, as well as an emergency medicine specialist, and he also removes tattoos from inmates by the hour, by the lineal foot. How do they pay you for that, Bruce?
The least important factor that you're discussing. It's a combination of community
to answer the goddamn questions, please. We have a discussion last night about you attempting to be entertaining. Here's how this show goes. I ask you questions, you then answer them. You don't do a long pause and then come up with some sort of half-baked comedic answer that confuse people.
And I also provide you with some comedic relief.
Just how do they... Oh, forget it. Shut his mic. He's useless. Tommy Chong is our guest tonight. Hello, Tommy.
Hey, what's happening?
Nice to see you. Of course, Tommy, co-star of many Cheech and Chong movies, as well as solo projects over the years. We're going to tell you where you can find him. Well, I'll tell you right now, you can find him at the Brea Improv. That would be June 30th through July 1st. Coming up here, when the hell is that? What the hell's the date today?
I think it's next weekend coming up. Friday and Saturday. And Sunday.
This weekend, yeah. All right. Yeah. So, and what... Geez, I got 1,000 questions to ask. I'm 36 years old, so I was weaned on the whole Cheech and Chong experience, starting, with the records back in junior high, and then into the movies as I got a little more into high school and that kind of stuff. And I mean, I must have heard more of your bits repeated by classmates over the years than the Pledge of Allegiance.
We have, infiltrated the minds of America.
Yeah. I guess that's...
Quite heavily.
Yeah, there should be a class action lawsuit. I'd like to spearhead that one.
Sure.
And the thing is as I think about it, it was always a lot of stoner humor. And I guess a lot of people might argue that, if you hear that when you're 13 or 14, you're going to be more likely to smoke weed. But I heard it. Well, wait a minute. I smoke a lot of weed. All right, forget it. It was a stupid argument.
Inoculation, maybe?
No, I mean, I heard it when I was, 13, 12, 14, 15 years old. It never made me want to smoke weed. I didn't fall into that trap until later on in life. It wasn't, I heard it, I laughed at it, I understood it, but I didn't run out to the park to score a dime bag, or a lid, as we used to call it back then.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to. That was the whole point of Cheech and Chong, is that we were like the legal high.
Right.
We would do it and then tell you all how funny it was.
And I know a lot of the records went gold and platinum, and a lot of the the movies are still big rentals and all that. Do you still get revenue from that stuff?
Yeah, we have our lawyers that have to go dig it out, but it's the usual.
Are you upset? Are you good?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I got some, irons in the fire, so to speak.
Right, and that's just a continuous source of records, videos, sales, and all that good stuff.
More than anything, it keeps it fresh. When I go play clubs like Brea and that, the people come out like crazy to see me.
Yeah. Now, what do they want? What does your audience want? Do they want the old Cheech and Chong stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like your REO Speedwagon, and you've got to play the hits from the late 70s.
You got to. Actually, I compare myself more with Willie Nelson.
Right, yeah, I didn't mean REO. No, but what I mean...
Like Willie, Willie does the same show, and he has people complain about it. But when he tries to change the show, he has more people complain about it.
So. Well, I mean, we all know what it's like to go out and see some old band that was hot when we were in high school, and you're sitting in the audience, and the guy goes, "All right, we'd like to play you a new one off the new album," and everyone's like, "Oh, Christ, I gotta take a leak."
Yeah. Unless it's Bob Dylan, he will not play the old stuff.
Oh, he won't?
No, he just pisses people off.
Really? Bob won't do it?
Well, he doesn't remember most of it, I think is what it is. So you're out there, you're with your new partner.
My wife, yeah.
Your partner in life, and also your partner on stage. And now you not only have a new partner, but it's a different gender.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Well, see, Cheech used to do all the women parts, He wore the dress and the tutu and...
Right.
And,
but he was still sort of a guy in that tutu, wasn't he?
Yeah, kind of, I mean, there's questions about that. But, yeah, he was still a guy, and he was very funny. But my wife, the great thing about her being on the show is that other beautiful women hear about it, and they come to the show. They would never come to see me alone.
Right.
But when they hear that there's a beautiful woman doing comedy, whoa, they show up and in droves, and that can be very nice. But except for your wife standing right there. So no, she's okay. I mean, she brought him there. They're there to see her.
Yeah, but you can't swing, can you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't anyway. I look, I'm one of those old guys now.
What is
I can look and get off.
Hey, look. Oh, all right, let's go home. When did you guys, I know you've told the story 1,000 times, but I'm kind of interested in the Cheech and Chong lineage. What year did you guys get together? And was it through music initially?
No, 1969, I was up in Canada. I just got fired from Motown. And I was up there working in a nightclub. There was a family-owned topless bar.
Were you evading the draft?
No, I'm Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know you were Canadian.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. Yeah, I tried to join. I went to Detroit and I tried to join. The best way to get out of the Army is try to join. Then they don't want you.
Yeah, they get suspicious.
They're going, no, this guy's nuts. We don't want him. So I was up in Canada, but Cheech was evading the draft.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I sort of remember someone was running from the man.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason. Well, actually, he wasn't invading the draft. What he was doing, he was a part of a secret army that was up there just in case the Viet Cong attacked from Alaska.
Yeah, I understand. You need to leave a certain amount of the boys back to protect the home turf.
Yeah, for some reason. But that year, Cheech was the very first Mexican that I'd ever met.
Oh, you're sure being from Canada?
Yeah, Canada. We never got him up that far.
You still haven't seen a Jew, have you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've seen the Jews? Yeah.
Canada. Winnipeg.
Oh, do you? You get a lot of Jews in Canada?
Oh, Winnipeg.
I didn't know that.
Winnipeg. You go to Winnipeg, man. It's, one of the richest guys in the world is from Calgary, Bellsburg.
Jew?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. He used to have a pre-fire sale at his furniture store.
So you made a little money through the insurance.
When you talk about Italians while we're at it.
Right. Well, listen.
Are you Italian?
You say what you want about. I don't even know what Bruce.
Oh, you're Italian.
Bruce is 100% full-blooded geek, basically.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that's the nicest thing you've said in the last 3 months.
Thank you. All right.
Asshole.
So you and Cheech, you get together in
what happened?
1969.
We had we had a topless nightclub up there, and the show was pretty boring. And so I was hanging out. Well, we had 2 clubs, an after-hours club, a jazz club, which I used to play at. But I never had a band at that time, so I was kind of on my own. And so I'd hang out at the topless club. It was a little more interesting. And I was working the lights, and the show was pretty bad. So I started writing skits for the girls to do, like old burlesque skits.
Right.
And then the guy that I had doing the skits with him, he quit. It was too much pressure on him. And so then a friend of mine named Dave, long-haired hippie, and myself, we started doing, the comedy.
Right.
And then we had a straight guy that we had hired, an actor. And the great thing about acting is that you can hire actors for next to nothing.
Sure.
Like topless dancers, they cost money. But
right.
Actors, you give them
you just feed them.
Give them a meal. That's it. And so we had the straight guy. He would do all like the caught bits and that, And then his wife found out what he was doing, so she hauled him away. And so I was looking for a straight guy. And then this mutual friend of Cheech's and myself, he said, well, I know this guy. He's pretty funny. He's real straight, and I think he'd work out. So I met him. I drove out to where Cheech was living. He was living in a little farmhouse. He was doing underground paper, sort of like it was called.
He was writing?
Yeah, he was writing. And so I met him, and he said he used to act in L.A., and which was a lie.
How long was it from that point in '69 until you released your first album?
We released our first album in '71.
Oh, so it was in show business, a relatively short period of time between the time you guys met and the time you guys cut an album.
Yeah, well, I just got off the road with Motown. I'd been on, I went through that whole system with Motown, so I knew what to do. I knew cut to the chase, come down there.
Were you like a session musician or something?
No, I had a band. I was part of a band called Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers. And we had a hit called Does Your Mama Know About Me?
And that was, 68?
That was 67.
Oh, my God.
67. Wow.
I guess we'll just say the rest is history for now because we got to hop on the phones. But we'll get more into this. And, later on in the show we can make fun of Nash Bridges. If we like. The thing I find most annoying about that Nash Bridges, that horrible show, is they use the two actors' names, and it drives me insane. Like they'll go on the commercials. They'll go coming up Friday on Nash Bridges. Find out with Cheech and Don are up to it. I'm like, Cheech and Don. This guy's a cop. He's not Don. Well, don't use the actor's name. It's distracting to me. You know what I mean? You don't suspend any of the illusion when you do that.
Marketing.
Yeah, and the guy wears a canary yellow blazer, and he drives a '66 Barracuda with a Hemi in it. He's an undercover cop. I can't figure that show out. Pam?
Yes?
You're 30. What's up?
I want to know how long is too long to have a yeast infection. I've had one for over 6 months now, and it's annoying me.
Wow, that seems like a pretty good run.
Any medical problems?
I have diabetes.
Okay, well that's.
So it does it?
Immunosuppression, certain medications like steroids, diabetes will contribute to more trouble getting rid of the yeast infection. And then, the usual recommendations, cotton underwear, there are various things like having yogurt and reintroducing an active culture into your intestines and secondarily...
Now, do you just spoon that up there?
No. You can actually eat it and secondarily just... But probably these things have been done. They tried you on clotrimazole or miconazole or fluconazole, one of the oral agents, or what have they done?
I don't know the name of it, but they tried me on a 3-day thing, and it's like it worked, but then it came back.
How about a pill that you take by mouth?
They tried me on that.
All right. Well, what do you want us to do, though?
Is your blood sugar controlled?
No, not really.
Okay, that's the problem. Until you get your diabetes under control, you're going to have a problem getting the...
Damn, why don't you do that?
But can it develop...
Hey, get your blood sugar under control.
Okay, but...
Why don't you do that?
Because it's annoying pricking my finger.
Yeah, I understand, but they'll cut your legs off if you screw up, right? And don't you have to amputate or your eyesight? Right. I mean, you got a 6-month yeast infection, for Christ's sake. That's not worth getting your blood sugar under control?
I'm trying.
All right, well, try harder. Here's my point. I don't mean to be rough on people that have had a half year's worth of yeast growing between their legs and who have diabetes.
I hate yeast infections, man.
We do too. As a matter of fact, with your help, I'd like to stomp out yeast once and for all.
Definitely.
Maybe we could do some sort of benefit gig.
People don't realize how it affects the man.
Well, one of the recommendations I didn't mention is decreased orogenital contact. So, Adam, you can put that as part of your campaign.
I see, yes.
That's what I hate about it.
Yeah, a little yeasty on the peckaroo.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so she needs to get her blood sugar under control and then take it from there.
Right.
Do that first. John?
Yeah.
You're 19.
Yeah. I've been going out with my girlfriend for a little over 3 years now, and just recently I found out that the other night, it was like Friday night, that I had slept with her sister, her identical twin sister, and now I don't know how I'm supposed to tell her that.
How'd you find that out?
Well, her sister came up and told me today when I was at the mall, because I was just getting off of work,
Yeah.
I was going to buy her something for her birthday.
Mm-hmm. Where are you working? Hot dog on a stick? No, I applied for a job there. Do you know that? Where they wear those outfits, like 60 stewardesses. You know why? Because they paid $6.75 an hour, and all the other gigs were like $4.50 an hour. But they don't hire dudes. See how hard it is being a guy? Hey, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was just gaslighting you. She didn't actually do it. She was screwing with you. And why would you tell your girlfriend anyway?
I don't know.
Okay, don't tell your girlfriend. But if it does come out, you didn't do anything wrong, right?
Right.
Supposedly, you slept with the twin sister not knowing it was the twin.
That's bogus.
Yeah.
Because they look exactly the same.
But what was she, under anesthesia or what?
Why did she do it? Why did the twin do it?
Well, I met my girlfriend through her, because I met her first.
Uh-huh. Was she the evil twin?
Well, they're both pretty cool and all, and I met her first, and then I met her sister, and I started going out with her sister.
But John, don't say anything.
And paint the toenails different colors and different twins so you don't sleep with the wrong one.
John, don't blow a good thing, man. Just act stupid.
Yeah, hey, listen, this is through no fault of his own. He cheated. I mean, he can't be blamed for this. But listen, guys, don't cop to this stuff. I don't know what that instinct is. Tammy?
Yes.
You're 30.
Yes, I am.
What's up?
I'm calling because I'm 30 years old, and I've been married twice, and I cannot have an orgasm on bottom. I have never had an orgasm on bottom.
When you're on the bottom?
I can only have an orgasm on top.
Yeah. That's not bad. You're still well ahead of the game. You know what I mean?
I know, but my husband, he brought it up recently.
Okay, why don't you turn the bed over?
That ain't gonna work.
There are different type of orgasms. There are clitoral orgasms. There are vaginal orgasms.
Are there? Doesn't all? But you know what I'm saying. I mean, we've discussed this before. It comes out as an orgasm.
No, it feels different though.
Does it feel? What the hell do you know?
I'm a doctor. That's why I'm here.
Did they teach you that in medical school?
Well, you know, there are things they don't teach you in medical school that some things you learn from your patients, some things you read, and then you discuss with your patients and you say, is this true? But in talking to women, they will tell you that there are different areas of sensitivity and that by clitoral stimulation, you will have a different type of orgasm than when a certain sensitive area in the vagina is.
Let's ask Tammy. Tammy?
Yes.
You've had vaginal orgasms and clitoral orgasms, right?
I think they're all been clitoral.
Right. So, okay, but hold on. When you're having an orgasm when a man's penis is in your vagina, is it then a vaginal orgasm? Or is it a clitoral orgasm because you're on top of him and you're stimulating your clitoris?
I think it's the clitoris.
Right. All right. Or as my grandmother corrected me on, true story, clitoris, not clitoris.
Oh.
She was listening to the radio show. She's 84 years old. She pulled me aside 6 months ago and said, it's not clitoris.
Oh, doctors
it's
love
clitoris. And then, you know how people, they give you that retarded logic? I go, listen, I don't know. Listen, you can pronounce it either way. And they go, we always pronounced it. I'm like, all right, you're an idiot. I don't care how you always pronounce it. So she said, a doctor friend of mine told me it was clitoris, not clitoris. And I said, what's Dr. Drew? I mean, doctor is his first name. He calls it clitoris. So we went and looked it up. And by the way, I didn't masturbate for 3 days after this episode. In the dictionary, it says you can pronounce it either way. So,
there you go.
touche.
But doctors like weird print, like scalpel instead of scalpel. I mean, you know, when you have these really smart professors in medical school, they'll have bizarre
anything to make a few extra bucks. Right.
Can you turn that red against that software? Tammy.
Yes.
Part of the issue is identifying that sensitive area intravaginally that you have. Well, wait a second. Your husband needs to take more time. And the position that you're in, when you're in the bottom position, you're not stimulating that area, and you're probably not also stimulating the clitoris.
She's not stimulating the clitoris. It's not that area in her vagina, or as I like to pronounce it, virgina. She is on top of it. She's rubbing her clitoris, or as Graham would say, clitoris, against him, and that's where the orgasm comes from. When he gets on top, she doesn't get that stimulation, no orgasm.
I thought that's what I was saying. Well,
no, you said you got to find that place in your vagina, but she doesn't have that place.
Oh, she probably does, and her husband hasn't neither husband have taken the time.
Oh, how dare you? That is not true.
I was just going to say, that is not true.
It isn't true, is it?
That is not true. We take our time. We do what we can.
I know. Hey, listen, I don't know how this works. I swear to Christ, I was put on academic probation at a junior college and tossed out before I began carpet cleaning. I'm smarter than you and Drew put together. How does that work?
How did you get on?
How does it work? Why am I smarter than the doctors on this show?
Because you're my future.
Thank you, Drew. Because you have no instinct.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is there a weight factor involved in this?
There can be. That's a very good point.
Tammy?
Yes.
You a big gal?
Yeah, I'm not huge, but I'm overweight, yes.
I see. Tommy was probably playing the Tammy card. Most chicks named Tammy got a few extra pounds.
No. I was just wondering, why he didn't make,
So I have a question.
Well, how much you weighing in at, Tammy?
200 pounds.
200. And then you're 7'4"? How tall are you?
I'm 5 feet.
I see. All right. Well, you're on top of him, huh? You're going to kill him. All right. Listen. Tammy, here's the deal. You're 30 years old. You have the clitoral orgasms. You're still ahead of the game because you can have the clitoral orgasm during intercourse. It's just not in certain positions. Many people can't do that.
Right.
Thank you.
So I'm never going to have an orgasm on bottom?
Probably not, but you're slapping fate and destiny right in the face when you talk that way. You really are. You are having an orgasm through intercourse, and that has put you well ahead of the group.
He thinks it's my fault.
Well, listen, your husband's an idiot.
Ridiculous.
And plus, he can't breathe.
You can still be on the bottom.
No oxygen in his head.
You're different positions while you're still on the bottom.
You might want to try some stirrups, too.
Yeah, that's true. You need to find a different way of being on the bottom.
You're overweight.
I love, thanks, Drew. I love it when the husband, blames. Listen, honey, I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at your vagina. Well, I'd like to talk to it in the next room. Slam the door. How dare you? All right. Well, listen, I swear to God, I don't know what the percentages are, but I would say less than half the women in this country can have an orgasm during intercourse, regardless of the position they're in.
Right. Depending on
it's less than half.
Depending on who does the study, but it's a large percentage.
Right. So, like I said, if you're having one, don't look that gift horse in the mouth. All right. We'll take ourselves a little break. Tommy Chong is here. We'll talk more to him and perhaps more about the pronunciation. We'll see if we can pronounce it labia or labia after this. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla, and that is Dr. Bruce over there. He's filling in the beginning part of the week for Dr. Drew, who's in Cincinnati because somebody dropped a quarter. He's got to scurry over there and pick it up, but don't worry. He's hitchhiking back because that's free, and he'll be in here tomorrow night. Tommy Chong is our guest tonight from the, of course, legendary Cheech and Chong comedy team and many other projects, acting, directing, writing, and all that. He's coming on, I guess, 30 years in the business. Tommy can be found along with his beautiful wife at the Brea Improv. That would be, I guess it's Friday and Saturday, 30th and the 1st. Wait a minute, 1st and 2nd, I see. All right, this entire weekend at the Brea Improv. So go down there and check them out. And
we're also on a web page, too, Chong Water Pipes. Actually, we're changing the name to Chong Glassware.
And is this a product or is this just a name?
No, it's water pipes. We make water pipes, and we're starting our own factory. And it's actually my son that's
really?
yeah.
Is a water pipe and a bong are one and the same? Right?
No, actually, no, not at all. No, they're totally
not
different.
at all.
Not at all. No. A bong is used for illegal substances.
I see. A water pipe.
A water pipe is used for tobacco products. Only.
Right. Yeah. I understand. Yes, I smoke
hemp
cigarettes
too.
for a while.
It's good for hemp. You know, the good hemp.
Right.
Not the bad hemp.
Mm-hmm. Let me give you some water pipe safety tips or design tips. Not that you guys need any.
No, my son's taking notes.
He's done extensive research over the years.
He's the expert.
But I'll tell you, that base cannot be big enough or heavy enough. I have knocked over several thousand gallons of bong water in my short life. I really have. We had an apartment in North Hollywood where 3-4 guys lived, and we had this like novelty bong. The thing was, it was like the Washington Monument. I mean, the thing was,
like
4 feet tall, and 2 inches around, and it was like trying to balance a mop handle. It's like trying to get a mop just to stand upright on its own, like a Disney cartoon, And as soon as someone would open the front door, just the wind from the front door would send the thing over. And bong water does not come out of carpeting very well at all, and it makes the whole place smell like a bong or a water pipe. I should say. So get a nice big heavy. I like to use a couple of sandbags. Or what I'd like to see you use, I'm talking to Tommy's son here, designs these. You know those cement bases they used to hold up the beach, patio umbrellas? Something like that. Like basically a wheel from the Flintstones car. Something weighed, like 80 pounds.
You know what we'll do? We'll name it. We'll name it after you.
The Carolla. Yeah, that's nice. That's right.
No.
Doing it for investors, I think you could have an investor designer, somebody on the board.
Yeah.
No, not really. Investors, they always want like returns and stuff on their money.
Well, you probably break enough of these things to keep the company solvent.
Actually, what did we bring some?
Oh, did you bring any? You got to have some.
I told them not to, but anyway, we're gonna hook you up with one.
Here's another design tip. It's just these are all just coming to me. In fighter airplanes, you ever see the side of like a jet fighter, like a Navy fighter? They have these big red arrows, and it'll be pointing at stuff. It'll say like escape hatch or
direction,
whatever. Big one.
Do not
carb to the carburetor. Yeah. Because people grab that bong, they have no idea where the carb is on the thing. They're feeling all over. It's dark. The Jimi Hendrix is playing. The black light's going. Everyone's got a good buzz. They can't find the carb. Then some of them don't have a carb. They have that thing where you lift the bowl out, and that works as a carb. Big red arrow to the carb. Big heavy sandbag base on the thing. And novelty bong is fine, but not the one where you put in your mouth on like a penis or something. It's a big donkey schlong or something you got to suck out of it. Please, let me have my dignity.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I totally agree.
Right.
Although a woman's Libya, they make a nice shape.
Yeah. All right, Richard.
Yes, this is Richard.
Yes, Richard. You're 24.
Yeah, I had a question for Tommy Chong.
Okay.
A long time ago on the radio here in Modesto, California, I heard a bit that was you and Cheech, and it was you guys saying something about who's Dave or where's Dave or something like that, and one of you guys was knocking on the door.
Oh, yeah.
I only ever heard it one time, though, and I was wondering if it was on an album or if it was just a bit you guys did.
It's on our very first album called Cheech and Chong.
Oh, okay.
1971. It's a yellow... Actually, it's on CD now. It's called Dave's Not Here. It was our, it was our very, very first comedy record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because I laughed for like 20 minutes after I heard that. I never heard it again, never found it anywhere. No one knew what I was talking about.
So you're in Modesto?
Yeah, Modesto, California.
Well, that kind of explains a lot.
I hear they're gonna take down the wall soon and let you guys out. There's these things called VCRs now. There's another thing called a microwave oven. They even have phones that you don't need to have a cord attached to.
Oh,
it's crazy what's going on out in the outside world, Richard. You got to get out.
It just sneaks right up on you, that technology.
Yeah,
Modesto.
Defend yourself, Richard.
All right, Richard, go get the first Cheech and Chong record, and or CD. CD, Richard, stands for compact disc. They're they're machines that play these smaller records. They're hard to scratch.
You can probably get them at Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks for the tip.
Okay.
All right. You catch the first donkey to Bakersfield. And get yourself a Cheech and Chong CD. Venus,
Yes.
you're 25. What's up?
Well, actually, I'm 23.
All right.
Okay.
That changes the
My
whole
husband
complexion
and I
of
have
the
been married.
show.
My husband and I have been married for 7 years.
Yeah.
Got married when I was 16. We have 3 children together.
All right. Listen, I already don't like you. I don't even know what your question is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think that's kind of strange.
I know, but you're one of those people. It's like, we've been married, my husband and I, we have 3 loving children. I don't know why that cadence drives me nuts. I'm just
Why?
being honest with you.
I mean, that is kind of strange.
All right, just go ahead with your question.
Okay. First thing I want to say to Tom, my husband and I have enjoyed your movies for ever since we gotten married.
Oh, good.
We really do like your movies. We have got all of them on videotape.
Okay. Do you let your kids watch them?
Hell yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's a happy marriage.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Okay. About 10 months ago, my husband and I started getting this real downslide.
Yeah.
It's weird, okay? I pretty much do everything I can, but even though no matter what I do, it just doesn't get through to him. I'm thinking that maybe he's having an affair or something.
It's a 7-year itch, right?
Yeah, how old is he?
He is 25.
Yeah.
I
Well,
see.
actually, he's 27.
All right, now hold on a second.
He was born June 3rd, 1973. He's 27, yeah.
It's a 7-year thing.
Yeah, but let me do some math here. You're 22?
23.
23.
I'm 4
Okay,
years.
so he's 4 years older than you.
Yes.
And you started dating this guy when you were 15 and he was 19?
We dated 6 months before we got married, so yeah, I was 15 when we started.
Oh, yeah. And were you pregnant?
No.
Why do you get married at 16?
We fell in love.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's your dad?
Where's my dad?
Yeah,
He was in the home.
I see. And
My husband asked my dad for my hand in marriage.
Right. And to put down the shotgun? And is your dad a good guy?
Yeah.
You love him?
Yes.
He doesn't drink?
No.
All right. You just got married at 16, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Seems like usually when people get married at 16, women are looking to be saved from something.
Right. And if you listen to the show, many callers have that sort of a pattern in the family.
All right. But let's just move past that.
Okay, move past that. When you get married at that age, you go through some profound changes in your personality, and that's why the recommendation is to wait until you're 21, 25 to get married, because as those changes occur, people don't always change together.
Yeah.
We also went through a marriage counseling session for 6 months before we got married.
It doesn't matter. The point is,
wait a minute, man. You had your learner's permit at the time, so you were able to drive, right?
No, but it's good that you do that. That's an essential thing before you get married. But
You go to marriage counseling at 15 and hold on a second. Can you imagine you're sitting there with a marriage counselor. You got some chick who's wearing a retainer sitting next to her like a Hello Kitty notebook. She's doodling on a peachy folder, and it's like she's sitting there going, oh, man, I'll tell you, the 10th grade is a bitch. You want to talk about pressure? I don't know if I can juggle this school, the drill team, and the marriage.
Listen, in her defense, I bet she was quite mature for her age.
What kind of marital counseling are you doing? That's not a marital counselor. That's a priest. That's a priest. He went to a priest.
A counselor doesn't tell you what to do.
A counselor would tell you to wait a little bit longer.
A counselor would recommend that, but stayed married for 7 years.
All right, wait a minute. I think it's a priest. Was it a priest?
Yes.
Aha. Oh, you're so smart, aren't you? It was a marriage counselor. It was a guy who couldn't get laid.
Wait a second. It's premarital counseling is what they call it, whether a priest does it or a formal counselor.
Yeah, but what kind of counseling is that? Like, you're nailing her, you better get married now. That's what the priest
He probably wasn't nailing her.
What does your husband do for a living?
My husband, he is shipping or receiving in a fish factory.
And so who's he messing around with? Who do you suspect?
In a fish factory?
Who do I expect?
Yeah.
I expect...
No, not expect.
Okay, there is a friend.
Suspect.
Yeah.
There's a friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
who comes around a lot and really does touch him a lot. And I think that's who he's kind of like seeing on the side.
Okay, listen. This is a time to see a marriage counselor. It's a real counselor.
Yeah, real counselor.
You need a couple of things can happen. Sometimes in marriages that are good marriages that last for 10, 20, 30 years or however long, there are periods like this that occur where communication's not so good. One person may think the other person's not interested anymore, and it doesn't mean he's having an affair. But obviously there are a lot of feelings around it.
Venus, you get some counseling with him, all right?
You think?
Yeah,
absolutely.
we know. Willie, it couldn't hurt.
You don't know that he's having an affair, but you've got to sit down and see somebody, and he has to make the commitment to spend the time with the counselor.
My suggestion is give him a really good blowjob.
Can you do that?
I do that all the time.
No, I mean a good one. You know.
I mean, I give him
Then you're cool.
everything he wants.
He's not messing around.
Does his penis smell of fish?
Adam.
No. He ships and receives fish. That's a lot of fish.
I give him one every couple of
It's like, how could you ever tell if the guy was cheating? The junk smells like walleye already, you know? All right.
He's not cheating. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry. Get back into counseling, though. And listen, there's some issues here. Right. You don't get married at 16 unless there's some issues. And you got a 19, 20-year-old guy.
Odds are against things when you do that.
All right. Go to counseling. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and we'll be back after this. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce. Dr. Bruce filling in for Dr. Drew, and this is his last night. Am I right?
For how long?
Ever.
You know me.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'll bring coffee next week.
Dr. Bruce actually brings a box of Sweet and Low in here.
It's out of your kitchen out there.
Is it really Sweet and Low? Or?
No, it's
is that the way you carry it?
Yeah, you think I'm snorting it.
No, seriously, do you need a box of how many Sweet and Lows do you put in a coffee at once?
Okay, how many
Sweet and Lows
sugars are in a Coke?
You have this conversation with me each and every
night.
night.
I put 5 or 6 in a cup.
5 or 6 Sweet and Lows? 4. It tastes bitter after one. How does that happen?
Is that good for a yeast infection?
How big do you roll a joint?
Listen, I just got back from Jamaica, Tommy. They roll joints over there. Holy Christ.
I bought $10 worth of weed there one time, and they brought it in an armful.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I cleaned it, and I rolled. It took me all day. It took me a couple of days to clean it, and I rolled the biggest joint ever. And I took it on a boat. We're on a fishing boat. And I asked the guy, I said, is it okay if we light up? He goes, sure. So I lit up this humongous joint, bigger than the movies. And I handed it to him. And the guy wasn't looking. He reached over and he looked at it and goes, look at this one, man. Oh, look at this one, man.
No problem.
Oh, it was, needless to say, we had a good time.
Yeah, the boat burnt down, but they had one hell of a time swimming back to shore.
Should we do the marijuana disclaimer now that we don't support smoking?
No, we don't mind that.
Okay.
But, listen, it's like anything. Just don't stay in high school, get your diploma, and then go out and become a drug addict. That's what I...
But the thing is, hey, listen, if you do have a pot problem, this is the advice I got for you. Go to Santa Cruz. There's a surf shop there, man, that has the best connections.
Yeah, really?
I'm not saying it, it's I think it's called Santa Cruz Surf Shop.
Right.
The guys there, man, they're connected to everybody in that whole, Humboldt County area, everything. Man.
Oh, they're growing pot in Humboldt County now?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That was just a rumor. I don't know.
Anything else?
I heard that. I had not heard that. All right.
So masturbation.
All right.
Paper topic.
All righty. Marie?
Masturbation?
Yeah.
You're 15.
Yeah, well, I'm 15 and I masturbate at the very least 5 times a day.
Uh-huh.
I want to know if it's normal or if it's
5 times a day?
That's a bad day. What's a good day?
8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do your own wash?
Yeah.
And do you stand next to the washing machine when it's on spin cycle?
It sounds a little excessive, and how do you determine what's excessive? It's how much of your time is spent doing something and how much of a focus.
No, it's really, here's how you determine what's excessive when you're teenagers. How much do your friends make fun of you? That's really how you know.
Well, do they know? I mean, you don't.
Don't know yet.
Yeah, you
well,
don't tell anybody.
they do now, is what I'm saying. So tomorrow. No, females usually don't get started as early and as often as
you
males
wonder is there
do.
something in her.
You wonder if there's something up. Were you ever molested or anything?
Well, like, I wasn't molested. I used to get beat, but I don't know if that really counts.
Oh, well, that could cause. Who beat you? Your father?
Yeah.
And where's he now?
He doesn't live here.
I see. And you don't have any contact with him?
No.
But it doesn't matter. When you have trauma in your past or there's something bothering you like that, it's a major thing. Self-pleasuring is something that is immediate, it makes you feel good, and it is a dangerous thing. I don't use the word dangerous, but there can be problems in terms of that becoming a focus of where to go to feel good when you have something troubling or something bothersome in the past. So I'd say if you have something like that in the past, you're starting to focus on this type of self-pleasuring, then it can become a problem. When people get into things like sexual addictions or compulsive sexual behavior, frequently there are issues in their past, like some sort of trauma.
I think I think we covered that about a half hour ago. Marie?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's what you need to do. Don't worry about the masturbation. Do it as much as you want. Don't focus on it.
Right.
But focus on getting a little therapy for the father that beat you all those years.
Okay.
Magically, the masturbation problem will probably take care of itself. All right?
All right.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah.
You translated what I said.
If someone had to. It's totally unintelligible before that. Kevin?
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
You're 16. You sound fairly lucid for one of our callers.
What does that mean?
That means awake and bright-eyed.
Yeah, it's like 2 o'clock where I am now.
Well, just able to articulate yourself, I guess. All right, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Virginia. Y'all like in California, aren't you guys?
That's right.
Yeah, they got 3-hour time left.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's right. So what's going on there, Kevin?
Well, first I wanted to say hi to Tommy.
Hey, how you doing, man?
How's it going, man?
Good.
Yeah. When I saw Up in Smoke, I was like on the ground laughing my ass off.
So was I.
Now, where did you see it?
I rented it and I watched it in my room, and I was just like on the floor laughing so hard. It was just like the funniest movie.
You just watched it alone, huh?
Well, I had a couple of my friends come over.
Wow. You got a VCR in your room?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I would have yanked my penis off if I had a VCR in my room at 16. But here's what would have happened. My dad would have come to the door. There would have been blood going under the door. Oh my God! And I would have just been there, rigor mortis, penis in one hand, VCR remote in the other, frozen.
What's different now?
Well, the difference, there's no difference. There's zero difference. But the point is it's 16 to have that kind of technology. I mean, we're all too old for this. You know what I mean?
No, you're never too old.
No, but what I mean is we missed it. When I had a piece of bark with a charcoal drawing of a vagina on it, I used to stare at. You know what I mean? I mean, could you imagine if you had a VCR with 4 heads and fast forward and frame advance and slow motion?
I had the nudist books that my cousin used to hide in his room.
Right.
For the medical books.
Yeah, National Geographic. I actually once had it to a raft box. You know the boxes the raft came in, a good-looking chick floating in the background? I mean, come on. You know how tough we had it, kids?
We were better
Daddy
off.
jacked off to a raft box. You understand?
Use your imagination back then. Nothing's left to imagination.
Yeah, forget about hiking in the snow like Grandpa. Daddy whacked it to a raft box. No, don't tell me about hard times. I wrote the book on it.
You want to go back to this?
No.
Oh.
Where was he?
Down here.
All right. Kevin?
Hey, what's up?
All right. So, you love Cheech and Chong, and what else?
Do you guys actually smoke during the movie, when y'all are acting?
Oh yeah.
See, actually, we're high during the.
In the beginning, but then it started getting in the way. They would say things like action, and we wouldn't know what they were talking about.
What about that one scene, the cop comes up to you, was that marijuana smoking?
No, that was movie smoke. But I know what you mean. Where he asked if he could eat the hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was movie smoke.
Well, did that dog actually eat the marijuana?
No.
And hey, listen, Kevin.
That's the scary thing with teenagers. They take it all.
Here's the scary part. Did you see Star Wars?
What?
You didn't see Independence Day, did you? You must have really freaked when you saw that. The White House being blown up, Martians taking over the planet.
Oh,
listen, Kevin, not everything you see in the movies is real. Even comedy sometimes
well,
aren't real.
like I was listening to your show, y'all were talking about like how you like roll joints in Jamaica and stuff.
Yeah.
He's on vacation.
Well, we like I said, we tried. We tried to be real to the craft, but we couldn't do it. You could because you have to do a lot of takes of the scene.
Oh, sorry.
All right, hold on a second there. We gotta take ourselves a little break. I'm curious, and we'll get to Kevin's problem when we get back. I also want to know how much of that stuff was improvised on the spot kind of thing, and how thorough a script you worked off of to do those movies. Tommy Chong is our guest tonight. We'll get to those questions and many more after this. It is the Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce over there filling in for Dr. Drew, who'll be back here tomorrow night. Papa Roach will be in here tomorrow night, and Long Beach Dub All-Stars will be in here on Thursday night.
Oh, Bud's tonight.
Yeah, they're good guys.
Real good.
Yeah, they're real regular guys. Real regular. Tommy Chong is our guest tonight. You can find him over at the Brea Improv. That would be all this weekend, I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So go check that out. And of course, you want to see a Cheech and Chong movie. They're all over the video stores. They're out on DVD now.
Oh yeah.
Did you go back and do some narration and that kind of stuff for them?
No, actually. Universal took a movie we did called Next Movie, and they kind of screwed it up. Took out all the plot references and made it Looking for Diamonds. And I think what they did, they put it back to original.
So you can find that on DVD and a lot of the Cheech and Chong records are in CD form.
A lot of them in CD.
How many records all
we did? I think we did 7 movies, 7 records. The last one, wasn't that great, so.
Would that have been 8?
Yeah.
And we were talking before we went to break about how so many of those Cheech and Chong movies seem to be scripted, yet a lot of the scenes felt pretty organic and improvised and that kind of thing. And how did that go?
Well, Cheech and I, we had worked so much together. We were together so much, and working on we do our records very organic. We'd write down a premise, and then we'd start, playing around with it. And the movies, actually, we're improv players, so what we do is we'd write the situation. Right. We wouldn't write what we were going to say.
But now, didn't the studio want to see a script before they funded these things?
No, the studios, all they looked at, Up in Smoke, we actually funded that one ourselves.
All right, that makes sense. So then after the success
after success, they don't care. Whatever you're doing,
just keep doing it.
Doing it, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting because, the first one you presented them with, you didn't present them with, you funded it. You funded that from the revenues from the records?
Well, there's a long story with that. You know that guy that sits with Jack Nicholson at the basketball game?
Yeah.
Lou Adler?
Yes.
Well, Lou Adler was our manager and the owner of the record company at the time, and we went to Lou and told him we wanted to do a movie. And so he kind of put the deal together. And,
What was the budget on Up in Smoke?
About $1 million. It was about $1.2 million. They probably ended up around $1.2 million.
Then you have any idea what that thing is grossed over the 20 years?
Right after it was out, it was like number 1 for almost a year. I mean, it was out right up in the top 10 for over a year. It grossed, I think, about $100 million that first year.
Jesus.
And then it's been grossing ever since.
Yeah. And that was, what was it, late 70s?
That was 77, yeah. 78.
And so back then you didn't have the whole, sell it to Showtime, sell it.
Had nothing. Ticket prices were, what, $4?
Right, and no video rentals. I mean, none of that ancillary stuff that you have now.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing like that.
Wow, that's
blockbuster.
And we were up against, what was it, Days of Heaven? No, what was it, the big flop?
There's been a lot of
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate, the big farm extravagance.
Heaven's Gate went out, and we kind of helped, shoot that one down because we were number one, and they died, and they'd spent at the time, $40-50 million.
Well, what, you want to watch these guys smoking reefer? You want to see Sissy Spacek crying over a killer? You know what I mean? I think America spoke on that one.
They did.
Kevin?
What's up, guys?
All right. So your question was?
Yeah, I was wondering how long sperm actually survives out of the body, after it's actually ejaculated.
I think the answer to that, and Bruce, you may know, but I think it's basically when it dries. It's
good in the environment. It can probably survive in friendly vaginal mucosa probably up to several days. Yeah. So you could run into some problems there.
Yeah, or if you're like me, you whack off into Tupperware, you can probably get
spermicidal Tupperware.
A good couple months out of an ejaculation.
So, Kevin, are you concerned because of a specific incident?
I mean, if you masturbate and you accidentally get it somewhere, your mom walks in the room or something.
Yeah, that happened to me. I actually got my housekeeper pregnant when she tripped and fell in my hamper my 10th grade year. Poor Rosa. She had a child. I still support it.
At least that's what she told her husband.
The child is 22 years old now. Little Hill Doggo lives with her.
Hey, yeah, that's my daddy over there, man.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting your mom pregnant if she grabs a tube sock or something, Kevin. But a good question. Coming from the guy who thinks all movies are real, by the way.
Yeah, question.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, are y'all going to come out with a Cheech and Chong 2000, something like that, grand finale or something an ending?
We've been talking about, there's been a lot of talk. We've been offered some pretty incredible amounts of money to do it. But Cheech is, he's sort of committed to the Don Johnson story.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What is that? I mean, what's your relationship like now with him? Did you talk?
Well, it was kind of thawing out, and then I did an interview just recently for Calendar Section, and I said that Cheech was a big sellout, so I don't think he's talking to me now for a while.
And I imagine, here's the thing I can't figure out about that guy. I understand if he finds Jesus Christ or something and he's living up in Oregon on a few acres and he's left the Hollywood scene behind him, or it just doesn't bode with his sensibilities because of some religious convictions or something. But he's doing Nash Bridges. I mean, it's not as if he's raised his art level. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like Cheech and Chong is a step back for him. He's doing Nash Bridges, for Christ's sake.
Now, for him, you see, you got to understand Cheech. He went to college. His education kicked in pretty heavy, and he was meant to wear a suit as far as he was concerned. He didn't want to wear the little T-shirt with the little watch cap. He wanted to wear the suit. He wanted to be a leading man.
But I mean, if and I don't know if it's movies, I don't know if it's Las Vegas, but I mean, if you guys got together and you said, Cheech, listen, I know some guys over at the MGM Grand, we can work there 2 weekends and really clean up. I mean, I imagine they'd throw some serious money your way.
We've been offered
for a Cheech and Chong reunion.
We got offered a lot of money. We almost got together, but actually I turned it down.
When was this?
This was maybe 6-7 years ago. We got offered $100,000 a show, $100,000 a show.
Really? And now, why did you turn it down back then?
He wanted to do it, but he didn't want to do the little clubs first.
Right, he didn't want to work it out.
He didn't want to work it out. He just wanted to go grab the money and
right.
We worked the small clubs, for years.
Right.
Years. And then I went back I've been back since 91, and that was, say, around 94, 95, something like that. So I put my time in, you know.
Right.
And I knew that if we were going to go back together, that you have to put some time in, you know.
Right.
And he didn't want to do it.
Well, I just imagine, I would assume that one day in the not-too-distant future there would probably be a Cheech and Chong reunion, either via movie or on stage somewhere. It just seems like it's almost inevitable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends. It depends. Well, actually, we did a South Park episode.
Oh, was Cheech in that as well?
Yeah. In fact, I did it, yesterday? It's going to be on tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be on tomorrow, and we played Cheech and Chong, and I didn't know about it. They didn't tell me that Cheech was doing it, too, but he was recording his part up in San Francisco. I did my part here, and it was very funny, and I said, oh, Cheech is doing it? Because they didn't tell me. And they said, you have a problem? I said, not at all. You know.
Did they tell him you were doing it?
Yeah.
And he went ahead and did it?
He went ahead and did it.
Oh,
and the thing was, he was his Chicano self, you know, because that's what happened with the act. He told me, you know, that he didn't want to do that Chicano lowrider anymore. Because Louis Valdez, his director, told him that it was detrimental to the Mexican people that he did that little...
I see. He was selling out his Latino brethren.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I've always hated that attitude, you know.
Yeah, I did too. And listen, I always think it's a bunch of nonsense too, because... First off, you're supposed to be funny. It drives me nuts when people just sort of hide behind that stuff. But it's like Paul Rodriguez is probably the most famous Mexican comedian, second only to Juan Valdez. And you know, Paul, I'd see the guy interviewed, and he'd be talking about the Chicano lifestyle and being true to his brethren and all this kind of stuff. And then he'd get out there and he'd pull up a switchblade and go, I carry this, the Mexican Express card. And I'd think, hey, Paul, come on, brother, what are you talking about? You just make a living, everybody.
Well, they'd be complaining about not having, being Mexicans on television. And I said, hey, you guys got your own channels.
Yeah, you got your whole goddamn channel. And what about those cameras out by the border? Come on. You see that on Channel 5 every once in a while, the infrared camera?
Yeah.
That's not Mexicans on TV? I don't know what is.
Real TV.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Running to get their SAG cards. Mm-hmm. Aaron?
Oh, my gosh.
You're 18.
Yes.
We should really run for some sort of office. We really should, Tommy. You and I together, our political views.
I think so. I want to be drug czar. That's what I want to do. I think I can
who
do that.
better?
Who better, right?
Yeah. Aaron?
Yes.
What's up with you?
Well, first can I say that Tommy Chong, you're great.
Thanks, man.
And I think my favorite role you ever played was Red on National Lampoon's.
Oh, yeah. I've been getting a lot of
I love
notice
that character. What a great character.
Yeah, that was fun. A fun movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Which movie?
National Lampoon's Senior Trip.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was a great movie. And Adam, for you, I am sitting in my workshop, and sitting right in front of me is the airplane that I just successfully flew today.
Ah, a model airplane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a hobby of mine. I pretty much did it because it gets the chicks. I love a guy who flies a model airplane. No, they despise it.
I was going to say, really?
What do you got there, Aaron?
It's a Sukhoi with an OS-32.
Oh, what's the wingspan on that there?
It is about 50 inches.
All right, you need a little more engine than a 32 on there.
It's plenty of power.
All right, no.
2020 fuel.
All right, what size fuel tank you got?
It's about 6 ounces.
No, you only got a flat thing for 6-7 minutes.
You guys amaze me, with the airplanes and that. I tried, and I'd get so far that I'd get really pissed off.
When I'm building a one...
So I get my BB gun and just throw it in the air and just blow it away.
Well, you're rich, you can do that stuff. All right, Aaron, so what's going on?
Well, like I said, I'm 18, and rather embarrassingly, I have a 4.5-inch penis.
Yeah.
And I'm 6'7", about 300 pounds.
All right, so your penis is about 2 pounds lighter than it should be, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and you measured it's 4.5?
Oh, yeah.
And that would be erect. Right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough on a big guy like yourself.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah, now have you been with a few women?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, the one girlfriend I've only had dumped me on prom night for a fat black chick.
I see. Well, it happens, though.
No, at the party, she went upstairs before she dumped me and had her little fun and then dumped me.
I see. Well, she probably wasn't marriage material anyway. She dumped you for a fat black chick on prom night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
listen,
I'm going to college this fall. I just graduated, and I don't know what to expect if I ever...
All right. Well, listen, Aaron, listen. Nobody knows you have a small penis until they actually see you with your pants down, right?
No way.
So don't walk around with the posture of a man with a small penis.
Yeah.
You got to hold your head up, pardon the pun. You know what I'm saying? And women are pretty good about that stuff. They're more mature than men.
Okay.
You're going to have to double down on their oral sex. There's no doubt about that. But women will not hold that against you. Most women.
And there's strap-ons too.
Sure.
So you can get any size you want, brother. Any color you want too.
Yeah. How's your physical health otherwise? Do you exercise?
Yeah.
I don't know what your body frame is. Sounds like you might be a little overweight.
No, I mean, I'll be the first to admit I'm a little bit, but I lift weights and I'm huge. I mean, I've got a 52-inch chest and 19-inch neck.
You're not doing steroids, are you?
No, not at all. I'm just that's the way I am, and I don't even lift very hard.
Because I know a lot of bodybuilders, that do have very small penises.
I'm not really a bodybuilder. I just kind of lift weights to keep healthy.
All right.
And I'm huge, and I don't know.
All right, Aaron, here's the deal. Forget about the penis size, non-factor right now. Your main size is a bigger factor. Some women don't like it, some do. And you'll find one that does, and she'll love you, small penis and all.
And none of the penis extenders or any of those things work. They're all bogus.
And the good news is, though, is any guy makes fun of you, you can just kick his ass.
Yeah, and strap-ons.
I came up with an invention.
And actually, if you're gay, your partner will really be glad.
With the strap-on?
No, it won't hurt as much,
Yeah, I came up with the strap-on asshole the other day, which is when someone wants to break out the strap-on penis, I say, hold on, I break out the strap-on asshole. I might just strap it to the dog or the refrigerator. I can watch TV and they can go at it.
Strap-on asshole. That sounds like an old. I won't go there.
Jake, you're 16. What's up?
I had sex with my girlfriend, and the condom broke. I want to know how effective the morning after pill will be tomorrow. We had sex yesterday.
72 hours. Do you have access to it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's very effective, and it's a matter of just getting to the physician and getting the prescription.
What time yesterday?
Around noon.
All right, so it's been a day and a half, right?
How old's your girlfriend?
16.
Okay, is there a problem getting the morning after pill?
No, I don't think.
What brand of condoms were you wearing?
Children.
Oh, well, you better write them a little note.
Yeah, write it, do what I do. You write it in semen, and then they use a black light to read it. It's great. I couldn't get my last name in. I just Adam C, and then I ran out.
And you sent him the condom, too.
I probably should have just started instead of to whom it may concern. All right. Go get that morning after pill. You can go to Planned Parenthood, and they should be able to hook you up as well. But do it. Definitely do it tomorrow morning. Todd?
Yeah.
You're 14.
Yeah.
That's good. What's up?
I smoke weed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
14. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
And I just smoke it a lot, and I want to know what the long-term effects of that are.
Well, we have an expert here. He can't remember.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
When did you start smoking weed?
I started when I was 18, I guess. 18, yeah, something like that. 17, 18. There's, not long-term, there's immediate effects, And if you smoke a lot, that means you spend a lot, right?
Yeah, well, I just ran out of money today.
Yeah, well, the problem with potheads that smoke a lot, they don't realize they're just wasting a lot of money. Because you're not really going to get much higher than your first toke. So if you're really smart...
really good.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Don't be greedy about it, I mean, it really is medication, and you should treat it like medication.
Well, you see, that's the thing I could never figure out either, which is I have half a bong load, and I'm good. I mean, I'm baked, and that's it.
A toke or two.
Yeah, I'm stoned. You know, the joint goes around 2 times. I'm stoned, and I'm not going to get any more stoned for about another 2 or 3 hours.
And you're not, and you're just fooling yourself. And if you do, you're really wasting it, you know. And so,
but further, moreover, there, Todd, you're 14.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff you're supposed to be doing before you start taking drugs.
Yeah, and Adam.
Yeah.
Dude, you're the bomb, dude.
Yeah, but thanks. But listen, I'm the bomb, and I'm telling you, I wasn't smoking weed when I was 14, and I don't think it's a good idea. I really think you should get off it, and if you want to rediscover it as an adult, that's fine. But it's
at least quit to see that you can do it. You know, there's no adverse effects when you do quit. You start remembering stuff. Everything seems clear. You know, just quit just to see how you feel about it.
I haven't smoked weed for like 2 weeks, and then I did it again at night because I got some money.
Yeah.
That usually happens. You know, I think we're talking an addictive personality here.
Yeah.
So be careful. You know, at least it's not alcohol. You know, alcohol you would have a problem with. Weed, just walk away. Just leave it alone for a while.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a little bit fixated on the smoking pot thing.
Yeah.
Any family history of addictions?
Boy. Todd?
Yeah, I'm there.
Your parents alcoholics?
My stepdad was an alcoholic.
That doesn't count.
You know about your dad?
Oh, yeah. Listen, your real dad was an alcoholic, too, because your mom wouldn't have married your stepdad who was an alcoholic.
Well, I don't even know my stepdad, but my grandfather just recently got over drinking.
Real dad, yeah. Okay,
A
listen.
little confused.
Todd, you have alcoholism in your family, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't like when he was young.
Listen,
it started like a couple months ago because his wife divorced him.
That's nonsense. Okay, listen to me, Todd. You're going to be addicted to something. You already are, possibly. You got to keep an eye on yourself.
Well, I think a little bit of acid.
All right, Todd. Listen, you're going to need your brain later on. You will.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, Todd. Seriously, let me just explain this. You're not a genius anyway. You understand?
Yeah.
You would have had difficulty going to college and getting a good job as it is. Now it's going to be next to impossible. I feel the need to give this speech just one more time. I do it every couple of weeks here. Here's the deal with drugs and people. I know we like to think that everyone's special and everyone's unique. Here's the deal. Some people are smart, and there's a lot of dumb people out there. There's a lot of pretty stupid people. I mean, go walk around, everybody. There's a lot of idiots. And that's what they call IQ. There's the people up there with the 150 IQ, and then there's us and you. And that's people 100 range. Now, if the people with the 150 IQ, like Tim Leary and guys like that, want to do acid and weed and do as much of it they can get their hands on, fine. That knocks them down to about 125. Still smart enough to get a job. But if your IQ's around 100 and you do a bunch of acid when you're 14 and smoke a ton of weed, you'll get knocked down to 75. Now you're a retard.
Or if you started.
And you can't get a job. And like I said, a lot of these guys would have difficulty even without the drug. Let your brain dry. It's still wet when you're 14. You can't carve your initials in it with a stick at 14. Let it dry. Stay off the drugs, Todd. Get yourself established. And then, if you want to do it, you're a responsible adult. God bless you. All right. Bruce, pick another call there. Thank you. Adrian?
Yeah.
No, I mean, like Tommy and Cheech. These guys have smoked a ton of weed, but these guys are smart guys. You know what I mean? I mean, you're an intelligent guy. God knows you probably would have come up with a cure from cancer if you didn't smoke that 150-pound joint in Jamaica.
No, we have. It is pot.
Well, there you go. Through
it's a cure, yeah.
Adrian?
Yeah?
You're 16. What's up?
All right, I have a question. If masturbation makes your penis any bigger?
No.
No?
Believe me, I know.
Really?
As much as Tommy knows about weed, I know about masturbation. Maybe more. Sorry if that offends you. But
unless you change hands regularly, you know.
Yeah.
You can do the switch here.
I guess 2-3 times.
2-3 times then, no. Will not make your penis bigger.
No. There's theories that have come up that it increases testosterone.
A good-looking girl will make your penis bigger.
Right. until the bus door closes and it drives away, and then it will go back down again. All right, we will take ourselves a little break. Tommy Chong is our guest tonight, and we'll be back after this. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce. Dr. Drew will be in tomorrow night, back from wherever, hell, I guess, is where he was at. Long Beach Dub All-Stars will be in here a little bit later on this week. We have Tommy Chong in here tonight. You can see him all this weekend at the Brea Improv. Also, you can check out some of his son's work on chongglass.com. They make water tobacco pipes, apparently. Much more pleasant way of smoking a cigarette is via the water tobacco pipe. And also, and I don't know what the affiliation is, but I'm going to say SantaCruzSurf.com.
They'll be carrying some of our water pipes.
I see. And where are these water pipes actually manufactured?
They're going to be, well, right now they're being made in Seattle.
Oh, really?
But we're bringing the guy down here. We're starting our own factory right here in L.A.
And are most of them glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, glass is the best. And I carve wood pipes myself, and I make bamboo pipes.
You do?
Yeah, but mine are very expensive, because they're one of a kind.
Right.
Tommy Chong pipes.
That's an interesting little sideline.
It is. It's great because you test them out and then you're screwed for the day.
How much would one of your bamboo go for?
I'm going to start around $1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, you got to be pretty high if I want to.
No, I'm pretty rich.
Yeah. No, I could see that. I mean, that'd be a cool item to pull out. You got a Chong.
And the thing is, the more you ask for them, the more valuable they are.
Sure.
People, so.
And then one day when you pass away,
then
all
really
of a sudden, that Chong bong that you paid $1,000 for is going for $1.5 million at Sotheby's.
At least. I'm going to do one. I'm going to do $1 million pipe.
Yeah. And hey, let me ask you: when you do a bamboo bong, what's on the bottom? Is that the bamboo that blocks the bottom off?
Very natural. It has a very natural thing.
Yeah, it has like they have shelves built into them, like every foot and a half or something like that.
It's as if God said, you know what, this would make a great bong.
Yeah. Yeah, God invented.
You can put them all together. I bought a Chinese water pipe. They go back centuries in China. And so I collect old opium pipes.
No, but so does Dr. Drew. It's interesting. He's not. No, he doesn't.
No,
I just made that up. He collects old freebase pipes. Actually,
have you ever freebased? Have you ever done that?
No. Wait a minute. Yeah, I have.
You did?
Yeah. One time when I was living in an apartment in North Hollywood. Oh, Jesus. I really should have killed myself at least 10 times by now. I was living in my North Hollywood apartment, my one bedroom with my 3 roommates. I was probably 18 or 19. I had a friend who worked a graveyard shift, and I worked construction. So as I was getting out of bed at 6:15 in the morning, he'd be rolling in. He'd get in at like 5:45 or whatever. One morning, I walked into the kitchen, and he's sitting with another guy who he worked with at the print factory. They both worked a graveyard shift, and they're freebasing at the kitchen table at like 6:30 in the morning. I mean, I'm in my underpants with an erection, and I came stumbling into the kitchen, and they were just sitting there freebasing.
So you excited?
Yeah, and I was like, hey, what's up? And they're like, hey, Adam, that's Stu. He works the main press. Hey, yeah, nice to meet you. Hey, you want a freebase? And I was like, all right. It was smoking also out of like a rubber gas pipe from the garage or something. God knows.
Brain damage.
Yeah, God knows what. I could have done something had I not. That was the one time I did it. It didn't do too much. I just went to work. I don't know.
I've managed to stay away from all that stuff. I had too many friends that were like junkies, and I look at them and go, I don't think I want to, sit there with my nose running.
Well, I mean, here, I have the same feeling about, rock cocaine as I do about heroin and just a few other drugs, which is, here's your two alternatives. It's one of two things could happen. You could vomit, or maybe have a seizure and die, or you could really get off on it. Either way, it's bad. I mean, I wouldn't want to do free-base rock or heroin and go, my God, I love this. This is the greatest thing ever.
Exactly.
I mean, you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
So I figure just leave it alone. So except for that one time,
you probably just inhaled some.
I was probably just smoking like vulcanized rubber.
How about you? What's your? Have you done acid?
No.
Bruce, you sold rock in college, didn't you?
Yeah, it was my rock collection, I think.
Because I was getting dental work done, and I went up from UCLA, and I went in there, and I caught a couple of doctors shooting each other up.
Really?
Yeah. I went up there because I had to go up there on a Saturday, and I walked in, and they were going to look at my implant. I was the first one. And it wasn't working. And I walked in, and one guy's got his pants around his knees, the other guy's pumping him up.
Doctors have a high risk of addictive problems. Certain physicians. And
what do you think? What do you think? It was heroin? Or what do you think it was?
It was some derivative. It's an opiate.
Opiate. Probably
fentanyl or
addictive. Quite a bit of abuse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, imagine when you got the keys to the candy store.
I was one of those people that. Oh yeah, no, I do addiction medicine, treating people.
That's right.
But I was one of those people that couldn't handle the IQ points were just enough in a sober state to get.
Well, you went to Loma Linda University, right?
That's getting to be a favorite school of yours. I can tell.
Yeah, my cat graduated from that university.
It's actually a very good medical school.
I'm sure it is. John?
Yes.
You're 15. What's up?
I have a lump, like it's in my ball sack, and it looks like another testicle, sort of. But like if I apply pressure to it, it feels like something's draining out of it.
Okay, that's your soul, by the way. That's drained.
Oh dang, that's
you don't need it.
Oh yeah, who needs a soul?
Yeah,
you can do what your doctor would do. You can apply a flashlight to it and see if it transilluminates if the light goes through it.
Really?
You have a hydroseal will allow light to go through it. Seal with blood.
And that sounds pleasant.
I tried that with a lantern once. It was a big mistake. Oh my God, was that painful? Yeah. Caught the barn on fire. It was horrible.
Hopefully the doctor won't.
You really put you set your scrotum on a flashlight.
I don't do that to myself.
But one good?
Yeah.
Really?
Actually, you have a flashlight that's part of your otoscope set, and you can just look right through it.
I see.
What are you going to see?
Well, if it's a hydrocele, if you have clear fluid, then it would transilluminate, and varicocele, which would have blood, would do so as well. You could have a solid mass, which you'd have no transillumination. You could have a small hernia. That some hernias go into the sac. So it's something that you have to have examined. It doesn't sound like it's a tumor, but it sounds like it's probably a hydrocele or a...
Yeah, because if it was a tumor, it wouldn't drain when he squeezed it. But, John, you got to get it checked out.
Okay.
And those, I know you're 15, you don't have a lot of use for your nuts, but later on in life, some woman's going to need to kick them around, and you're going to need them. Yeah. You understand?
The spaghetti worm-like epididymis that sits back. There's a lot of things. It's important to have the exam, and that'll be pretty easy to diagnose. This is a good one.
Oh, it is? Well, hold on a second. Okay, Russell.
Yeah.
You're 14. What's up?
I met this girl about a month ago, and we're in love.
Hold on. Hey, Russell, what's going on in the background there?
Oh, that's the radio.
All right, turn it down, please.
Or at least turn it to our station.
It is on your station.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah. It's just like 30 seconds behind.
Okay, turn it down, man.
All right, and,
Thank you. All right, Russell. Oh, boy, are you ready? Jesus Christ.
No, and we're in love with each other, but she lives in Bakersfield.
Wait, start from the beginning now.
I met this girl about a month ago, and we, started going on dates, and we were in love with each other when we told each other and everything. And but she lives in Bakersfield, and I live in Fresno, so it's kind of a long distance thing.
Yeah.
And she has a problem with the trust issue. Like, she doesn't really want to get serious because of the whole long distance thing. And I have no problem with that, but the only thing is I'm sleeping with one of her friends.
So this trust thing is totally unfounded, is what you're saying,
Well,
right? There's no merit whatsoever?
I want to be with her, but then again, I mean...
Right. All right. Hey, listen, Russell, forget about this long-distance relationship. You're 14, please. What you going to ride your big wheel out to Bakersfield?
Stay with a friend.
Yeah, that's it. Stay with a friend.
So how listen, 14, he's sleeping around. This guy's got some serious
Russell
problems.
he's just wanting to crow about his success in the sack.
Okay.
He doesn't have a real question. Hey, of course, you can't carry on a relationship at 14, but someone lives in another part of the state.
But if you're Fresno and Bakersfield, I think 14 is equivalent, to
28. Let me check the chart. Yeah. Redlands is 36. Fresno is 31, and Bakersfield is you're dead. You actually died 4 years ago.
I mean, a 14-year-old farmer, the guy's been working since he's 8.
Oh yeah, it's like a dog years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen a lot. Vietnam was hell. He's been working the soil for many years.
And where's North Hollywood on this illustrious scale of yours?
North Hollywood, you hit 15 and then you stay in a holding pattern. You never advance.
You got some friends and then you go over the mountain.
That's right.
Good luck.
It's from the sunset.
Yeah, that's a big deal when you're in North Hollywood. There's this Laurel Canyon. If you know someone who lives on the other side of that hill, you're gold.
I know Frank Zappa's friend.
Yeah, he's up on Woodrow Wilson. We can go up there. Yeah. Brian? Oh, hold on a second. I got to punch you. I had a little contact guy with Tommy here. Brian?
Hello?
You're 17?
Yes, I am.
All right. What's your question?
Adam, I just wanted to say you're God.
Well, thank you.
I don't know. This is cool. My question is for Chong.
Yeah.
Chong, you're down here in Brea this weekend. I was wondering if I should have, maybe if there's any way we could maybe meet.
You want a quick hand job?
I mean, would you join me in cramming a bowl or so?
Oh, you never know. You know, it's been done before.
It would be a dream come true, bro.
Are you going to the show?
I want to. I was sitting in class in summer school, and we had to do a newspaper write-up, and I got the article with Chong on it, and I was like, whoa, this is a sign.
Yeah, he's probably a DEA agent.
Because I was pretty gone when I got it, too, so...
I usually sell T-shirts and stuff in between shows, so if you're around the club...
we sign some autographs and that kind of stuff?
Do a ton of autographs.
All right, hey, Brian, go to the show.
Cool.
Identify yourself as a 17-year-old stoner Brian who talked to Tommy on Loveline.
I have green hair. You'll recognize me.
Well, of course, that's my fans, man. You're not alone in that.
How long you been smoking pot?
3 years.
Oh, all right.
Heavily.
Not good for your brain, my friend.
Right.
All right.
It's not good for your brain,
He's in summer school.
You'll be in perpetual summer school.
I kind of fell behind this year.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, tell us about your problems.
No, that's it.
That's it?
Brian.
Right.
Go to the show at the Brea Improv all this weekend, and you can see your mentor, Tom.
And if you got any problem with pot, just bring it to me.
All right?
Okay.
I'll take care of you. I'll take care of your problem for you.
We're going to take care of a little business. We'll be back after this. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce over there. And this last night, Dr. Drew will be in here tomorrow night with Papa Roach. And then Long Beach Dub All-Stars will be in here Thursday night. Tommy Chong is our guest tonight. You can find him at the Brea Improv all this weekend. And also, if you got a computer, you can check out chongglass.com and check out his glass menagerie over there. Also, SantaCruzSurf.com. That's a place you might also find some of his, him and his son's unique tobacco water pipes.
Yeah.
What are the price ranges on those things?
30,
50.
50.
30 to 50, and then it keeps going. 30 to 300. What's your most expensive?
I think $1,000 is what I sell mine for.
Oh, $10. Really? Really?
Anywhere from $10 up. Yeah.
Yeah. Just keeps.
And I'm working on a disposable pipe too. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what that is. That's an expired toilet paper roll in a little tinfoil. You know what I would like to do? It just popped into my head, but I hung around with a lot of idiots for a lot of years who smoked a decent amount of weed. Nobody seemed to have a pipe, and we smoked out of apples.
Apples, yeah.
We smoked out of little plastic juice containers. Coke cans were always at the top of the list. It smoked out of many things, but I would really love to see someone put together a nice coffee table book of all the sort of impromptu pipes, MacGyver-esque pipes that were made, and we've mentioned some of the obvious ones, but I'm sure between the pot and the desperation, people have smoked out of God knows what. I'm sure they've one of those conchs, that they blow. To let the guys in Hawaii know it's time to eat.
Yeah.
I'm sure guys have. I smoked pot out of my dad's trumpet mouthpiece once, and he found it in my room. Man, it was a bad scene over the Carolla house. No, I think the two things I did that pissed my dad off the most both involved his trumpet mouthpiece. One was holding it out of the car window to see if I could get a whistling sound and then dropping it at about 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, that would make him mad.
He still used it, even though it had a nice chunk taken out of it. And then smoking weed out of it when I was like a senior in high school and him finding that.
He's such a quiet, nice guy. I can't imagine him getting angry.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when quiet, nice guys get angry, it gets scary. Yeah. You know what I mean? They really spin out.
Did you turn your dad on? Did you ever
no, my dad was my mom. My mom had a pot plant in the backyard, and my mom was definitely the Hesher of the Carolla family. Dad was pretty straight arrow.
Shook his head.
Yeah, it was funny. My mom and her pot plant. I don't think I ever told her this. I hope she's not listening. But she had a big pot plant growing in the back of her yard, and I was like, in the 7th grade. I was trying to impress my buddies. Some new guys I barely knew. And I brought them by the house one day, and I said, check it out. Mysteriously, guess what the end of the story is? The next day, there's just a hole in the ground.
Yeah, I know that story very well.
Yeah, be careful who you show your mom's pot plant to, I guess is the moral of that story. Thank God. She also had a hydroponic farm in her closet, but they didn't get to that. All right, let's see who the hell else we have here. Dylan?
Hey, guys, I love the show, and I got a weird question for you. My wife and I are having our first baby here in a couple weeks, July 10th, and it's a boy we found out. We've got everything figured out and pretty much agreed upon except for circumcision.
Yeah.
And we're disagreeing on that, so I was just curious, Bruce, what the medical side would be. Adam, your opinion is always welcome.
Yeah, well, I do. I know a fair amount about this. Do you, what side are you coming in on?
Well, I'm circumcised, so I want him to be.
Right. Yeah, it's weird, but dads are this way. They want their son's penis to look like theirs.
I know it's stupid. I don't have any really good reason either. That's what she brought up. But.
No, but here's the reality of this, because we've really I've gone round and round about this with Drew and callers and everybody else. The deal is people make an argument about sensation. But the whole thing about sensation is it's pretty relative. I mean, whatever you got in your underpants is whatever you got in your underpants. You don't know that you're missing whatever it is, and sex is pretty good to uncircumcised guys as well. It's not as if they're missing out on anything. There's another issue, which is a hygiene issue, which is we do get plenty of calls from guys who are uncircumcised that are getting a little odor down there, or
his brother isn't, and so that's what she's basing it off of, is that he's always doing fine.
Well, it's not, most of the planet isn't, and most of the planet does fine. But here is the biggest issue, and it's going to be hard to tell where things are at in this country 18 years from now when he's dipping that thing of his somebody. But I've talked to a lot of chicks that are like freaked out by the uncircumcised penis.
Yeah.
And that's really the main issue. You don't want to freak any chicks out by your uncircumcised penis. So I would go, if Drew were here, I'd argue and probably say not to, just because I like to get under the bonnet a little.
He says you should?
Yeah, he's for it.
I don't think there's an overriding medical opinion, though.
No, Drew always cites...
Bruce, you would say either way?
Where did the circumcision come from, then?
The Jews.
Yeah, I would tend to say that they're cultural imperatives.
But why?
Because I think at that time, I think probably.
Because when you think about it, man, all of a sudden, what if some guy go, you know what, let's lock off that little skin on the end?
Well, because of, I think, hygiene and cleanliness issues.
Okay, then, Bruce, what would you do if it was you?
I mean, how did people figure out...
But in those days...
Oh, my kid was... I had a son recently, he was circumcised. And I think the wife, listen, my wife... there wasn't much choice there.
His wife actually did the procedure.
No, she tried to do it on me.
Okay, you don't have the problem.
Oh, tried to. I think she did it just fine.
Wait a minute, what?
Now, listen, Dylan, I'm going to tell you what the answer is. Then first, Tommy, how did people figure out to eat lobster? You know what I mean?
No, that's easy.
Well, yeah, but who the hell knows?
No, you eat anything that moves. Okay, I can understand that, but I can't understand some guy looking at his Johnson and going, I don't like that skin on the end. Give me a knife. Hand me that knife.
I think it probably started way back when
God told somebody.
With hygiene, right? Especially since people weren't showering.
There's a radical group of men today that have instructions on how to grow back the foreskin. Okay, so you're going to get some very strong opinions either way.
Grow back foreskin?
Yeah.
Well, you can stretch it.
You can stretch skin in the cells.
Dylan, I know you're trying to talk, except for we're out of time. We got to go to break. Dylan, I would do it.
Okay.
And I would just, it's basically a coin toss, but like I said, he may freak out some chick when he's 17, and for that reason alone, I'd get it locked off.
All right, thanks.
All right? And make sure you dip it in plenty of tar so it doesn't get infected when it's done. Okay. All right.
I have a rabbi come in instead of a pediatrician.
Hey, Howie Mandel told me a rabbi came to his house, formed a circumcision on his son. They buried the foreskin out in the backyard, and the dog dug it up and ate it.
Oh, I was here. I was here that night.
All right, pop that one. We'll take a break.